Hey, what's going on? So I had to rebuild my Slash 4x4 Traxxas motor. Of course, what's the first thing you do? You go to the YouTube and see, okay, oh great, well there's 20 videos that show you how to rebuild this thing. But guess what? Of those 20, 19 came apart without issue, without the issue that I had. Only one of them had the same problem that I did, and that was that the bottom bearing was stuck. The outer race of the bearing was stuck all the way down there. It's out now, but I'm going to show you what I did to get it out. You know, all the other videos are like, yeah, you just turn it over and put the wrench in there that came with the vehicle and hammer it out. Boop. Pops out, right? Wrong. Mine didn't do that. The top one that was in the cap popped right out. That was easy. Of course, the new design on the new motors doesn't have a cap at the bottom of the motor. So how they expect you to reach all the way down there for something that gets stuck, I have no idea. Here's the other pieces that came out, but of course the outer portion of this bearing was stuck all the way down at the bottom of this motor. And it is very difficult because there's no room to fit anything in there. I'm like, okay, how about a pick? No, that's too big. I can't really get it in there. And how about if, I bent a screwdriver, heated it up and bent it. That kind of allowed me to get in and kind of maybe possibly get the outer edge of that race, part of that bearing. But even then, you'd have to wedge it in there and at the same time, and then hit it out somehow with a hammer. Well, there's no way for me to do that. I can't do both at the same time, and the chances of you getting it to move were pretty slim. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could get a drill bit, put it down in, centered, and get it wedged inside the bearing and then spin it out. Well, the problem with that is it's exactly 3/8 of an inch. So this bit that I have wouldn't go inside the bearing. Wouldn't go inside. So there was no way for the drill bit to grab onto it. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can go to Lowe's. Maybe they have a smaller bit. Everything that they had was too small. The 3/8 of an inch is actually 9.5 millimeters. The next smallest drill bit that they sold was 9.1 millimeters, which might have been the 11/32, I don't know. So I'm like, drill bit? No. Could I get a tap in there? No. Didn't have the right size. So I'm like, what else do I have? A screwdriver? I had a wide screwdriver. Not this one, but the idea was to get it in there, get it wedged, and then spin it out, knock it out. Well, none of the screwdrivers I had worked. So then I started thinking around, what other tools do I have? Then I remembered the tool kit that I bought with the RC car at the hobby shop, Hobbytown. I'll put the link in the description. Came with this tool set. Look at these. Sweet tool set. I'm like, oh, here we go. Right here. This. If I could put that inside the bearing and then spin it out with a drill. Electric drill. So the one that fit was actually the 5.5 millimeter. And I put it in there at the bottom of this motor. And I kind of hammered it in a little bit, spun it. The idea was to get it to move, to get it to spin. And that didn't work. This metal is pretty soft. It's probably aluminum. And it kept getting deeper inside the race and deeper to a certain point where I couldn't spin it with the drill. But I'm like, okay, it's wedged all the way to the bottom. It got all the way flush to the end of the hole. I'm like, okay, that's in there really good. So I hammered it a little bit more all the way to the end. So it was stuck in there like this, all the way at the bottom. And then I turned it over, put a screwdriver in the hole, and then knocked it out with a hammer. Boom! And it went flying. And hallelujah. Check it out. The race of the bearing is now on the end of this bit driver. So now, if you look down, all I have to do is clean it and put in the new bearing rebuild kit. So you can see all the way at the bottom now, it's got a lot of grime in there. But you can see that the new bearing will go right in there at the bottom. And hooray. Now the other person who had the same problem as I did said that he actually stopped the video. He said he heated this part up. I tried that. Apparently I didn't get it hot enough. And then he yanked it out somehow. I think he had some of these but that were smaller. See how wide this is? There's no way I could use this. That's why I did the screwdriver. I bent the screwdriver, which probably would have worked, but like I said, you would have had it to wedge in there and then tap it out with a hammer, but that was not going to work. So the best thing was destroying the outside of this bit, but it worked. It got wedged all the way in there. Sorry, focus. And that's it. Now I can rebuild it, go on my way. Hopefully, once it's clean, rebuilt, it'll spin. Spin sugar. Thanks.